G'day and welcome to the Rant Corner. Today's video is going to be very different. So much so that I've had to write a script in order to ensure mine and my channel's safety. Earlier this week, something brutal and deeply shocking happened to a YouTuber and his team. Here in Australia, a member of the YouTube channel FriendlyJordies was arrested by the counter-terrorism unit. During this arrest, which is highly detailed in FriendlyJordies' video, Arrested, where you can find out all of the information, the staff member, whose name is Christo, was taken from his home after members of his family were assaulted and his family pet injured. The following that you will see in this extract is unedited footage as it appears in Arrested, link in the description, so you can see the gravity of this action. As a warning, viewer discretion is advised.
On the 4th of June, plainclothed armed officers stormed into my employee's home, violently assaulted his family, nearly killed his dog, pinned him to the ground, handcuffed him, and dragged him into an unmarked police car. If you're wondering if I've accidentally mixed up a story from Pinochet's Chile with a standard arrest in Australia, I did not. That's what his father thought, who stated at the moment of this incident, understandably panicked.
You can't do this in Australia.
Sorry?
You can't just take someone in Australia out of their house.
He's right. You absolutely cannot. And yet they did. With unsettling arrogance, seeing as several cameras were filming what they could of the event. Imagine what they'd do if they weren't. Here's the footage.
No, I'm allowed to film it though.
No, you're not.
No, I'm allowed to film it.
No, you're not, because you're under arrest.
Could you film
I'm allowed
this?
to film
Could
it.
you film this, Mum?
You can film it, that's
Okay.
okay, but you're not allowed to, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to. No, Mum, you can take my... No, you can take my phone. No, take my phone. Take my phone. Don't do
What the fuck? Yeah, they're giving away evidence and trying to run away with it. Yeah? Don't run off with evidence. Okay? Who are you doing this? You're gonna win. Jesus Christ.
I'm calling.
Film this.
I am.
Make
What
sure
the
you don't
fuck?
mind, like, film it. This is bizarre.
This is not Australia.
Yeah, it's marked dated.
Have you got the number? You hurt a 51-year-old woman. You knocked
I
me
tripped over.
You killed my dog.
I tripped
who's
over.
old.
Okay?
No, you did not.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
pushed your weight. You pushed
No,
me
no,
down.
I tripped over.
You
That's
assaulted
whatever it
me.
was.
You assaulted
Okay.
me. You
No, I
just
didn't.
assaulted me. I've got
did.
witnesses.
We told you
I've
to
got-
hand over the phone.
I have got witnesses.
You handed it to her. I tripped over you.
You pushed
That's what
me
happened.
down in my own home.
No, I didn't.
You
I
absolutely
COVID
did.
environment.
That's all.
If you do anything to my son, you will pay.
You can't do this in Australia.
Sorry?
You can't just take someone in Australia out of their house.
Make sure you don't lose it. That's all. I just want to make sure it's filmed.
I am.
On record. So,
I just got assaulted.
yeah, I know. Send
So,
a messenger. I think
who do I ring for that?
Because I go to the con, I walk past John Barilaro in a day, Mum. Because I go to the... When I was seeing Carl Vine.
You know what your son did to that?
Do you want to know?
No, I want to
You don't want to know?
legal representation. Watch it. He went to university. He went into...
To say that the footage is harrowing would be an understatement. And if you weren't aware of any of the events leading up to this, I will direct you to the description with all of the links that I could find that detail the FriendlyJordies channel and all their escapades regarding John Barilaro, the man who we'll cover more of in a moment. The main catalyst that kicked off this arrest was that Christo, the young individual in handcuffs we saw before, was attempting to hand John Barilaro, who I briefly mentioned, documents of how John had decided that he would sue the FriendlyJordies channel for defamation, and in that there was some incorrect information on the paperwork. Christo wanted to bring that to his attention, as is Christo and Jordan's right to do so. He was then arrested, with these being the counts that he was arrested for.
He's been charged with 2 counts of stalk and intimidate, intending to cause fear or physical or mental harm.
In addition, Christo has also been subjected to some very, let's say, unique or draconian even bail conditions.
He must not approach Bruz or contact him in any way unless contacting him through a lawyer. He cannot go within 200 metres of any place John Barilaro lives or any place where he works. He can't possess or share images or caricatures of the protected persons. He can't comment on the personal appearance or behaviour of the protected persons. And he can't participate in the publishing of content further harassing the victim. If Christo does any of that, jests about him, even dares speak his name, he goes to jail like it's the Dark Ages. So suffice to say, he has nothing to do with publishing the content of today.
Now to an obvious question. Why am I even covering this? I have no stock in comedy or journalism, which is the main content of FriendlyJordies and their channel, and with a particular emphasis on comedy. They are comedians and journalists, both. And I have no stock in the reporting of political goings-on as it occurs in Australia. So, why am I even having a say? Well, quite simply, FriendlyJordies is one of the best ways to get unbiased news in Australia, which is not a joke. A YouTuber keeps the population of Australia more informed about the political landscape than what privately owned media outlets do. So it's incredible what Jordan, and his team have been able to achieve. The long and short of all of this is that I want to signal boost this particular event. Jordan outlines all the things that happened leading up to the arrest in great detail. You should definitely go see that in Arrested. And it becomes clear that John Barilaro, the Deputy Premier of New South Wales, an elected official of a state, has allegedly, I have to say that, allegedly, carried out a brutal and potentially unlawful arrest of a uni student, a university student. For people who may not have a university in their country, a college student, brutally arrested him and taken him from his family home. Because this has obviously kicked off a lot of stuff, there is a legal case that has been going on, and this was prior to the arrest. It was one of defamation, where John Barilaro believes that Jordan has defamed him as a public figure and lowered his standing in the eyes of the public for some of the content in the videos linked below. Now, myself and many others have given to this cause simply because if John Barilaro wins, it sets a precedence that would silence independent reporting in Australia, and it makes sure that whatever limited ability that journalists have to speak the truth on various matters would be obliterated entirely, as they would not be able to speak negatively, even in a joking fashion, about our government, their policies, and what it is that they get up to when we're not looking. So again, I'm gonna restate this. Jordan Shanks, the FriendlyJordies team and his team are being sued for comedy, jokes. Now, a little backstory here. Comedians the world over follow this very simple rule called punching up. So to punch up is when you make fun of people who are in wealthier or more privileged positions than yourself or in your government. But the important part here is that a nominated representative of an Australian state cannot handle schoolyard-style insults like being called a meatball. So a grown man who was a politician and a public figure you just can't handle being called a meatball. So he decides that that's grounds for a defamation case. Now, I want to make it very clear, I'm not calling John Barilaro a meatball. I do want to say that is exactly one of the reasons, genuinely one of the reasons why Jordan's being sued. You can check more of that out in his videos. For contrast, even the egomaniacal and narcissistic Donald Trump never went after an individual YouTuber for not liking him. The wild card that he is, regardless of whether you're for or against him, which means that John Barilaro is worse off than Donald Trump, which is a very odd sentence. I'll say that. In some brighter news, FriendlyJordies and their team over on Facebook were able to put out this post showing that the family dog is okay, a little bit shaken, so not quite sure what had happened to the family dog during the encounter, but obviously the dog has been able to recover, so that's some great news there. To close this off, I fear for what this could mean for the future of comedy and news reporting here in Australia, where a politician could turn around, remove you from your home, and put you in his place of permanent silence for fear of being incarcerated. I fear what this could mean for the rest of Australia if all of a sudden a deputy premier, politician, could turn around and say, I didn't like what you said about me. I'm going to put you in jail unless you stay silent and compliant. I don't think anybody wants to live in a country where your freedom is effectively balanced on a knife edge. Donate to the FriendlyJordies Legal Fund. Help them fight this corrupt monster.